What is up, guys? Good morning. It is Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of 7, around 7 a.m., which we've been pretty accurate with recently, the 7 a.m. West Coast time out here in the Southern California desert. The first 7 part, not so much. It's supposed to be 7 minutes around 7 a.m. So trying to keep this short and sweet for you guys on a daily basis. Some days I'm a lot better than others. Sunday morning out here, beautiful morning on tap for us. Got some doubles this morning, and looking forward to that on the grass. And we've got a super sub this morning with the great Tony Dawson, who's right over here at the counter working away. Anyway, looking forward to that, and hope you guys have got some tennis on tap today. I know that a lot of tennis facilities have started to open up where before they were completely shut down. So that's got to be good news for everyone, and you'll get them today. Guys, a couple things before we get started. Today's message is the 80-20-100 rule in doubles, and we're going to get into that. It's really about court positioning. And but before we do, let's see. Topspin second serve. I got a free course for you, right? No charge, no cost, $0. You can get immediate access to my Topspin second serve course. Maybe too many double faults, not a ton, but enough, especially at big points where you're just nervous, you're about to throw in a double fault, or you're missing the first serve, but you're getting the second serve in, it's just sitting up, right? Just not doing much. And really, whether it's singles or doubles, giving that returner a real opportunity to take advantage. You can get access to my course, again, at no cost. The link is right down below in the description area, whether you're at Facebook or YouTube. And all you got to do is just click the link, drop in a first name and email address, and you'll get access to that training. What else? Oh, I know what else I want to mention before we start with the 80-20-100 rule for doubles is end of the month, right? January 31st today. What's on tap for you next month, right? What would be the one thing in your game for the month of February, right? We got 28 days to really kind of hone in on one thing, maybe even get a little bored on whatever it is that we're working on, but don't be a multitasker in terms of, well, I've got a laundry list here of 3 or 4 things I really want to get organized with my game. That's fine. Make the list, but then choose one. And you know what, if you may have done finding the one thing exercise with me before, where we went through and I asked you kind of in 4 basic categories, what's the one thing you think if you spent 30 days working on it would really make a difference in your game? And number 1 is technique. What part of your game, technique-wise, could you really kind of shore up? Could you work on? Number 2 would be tactics and strategy. Maybe you need to start working on a little bit more transitional game, right? Trying to get off the baseline and move forward. Challenge your opponents. Could be singles, could be doubles. To have to go for more passing shots. I don't know. Maybe like me back in the day, I had to learn how to actually do the opposite, which was to stay back a little bit and play some more ground strokes. And the whole time looking for a short ball to be able to approach on. But so maybe have 2 or 3 tactical things you could choose from. The third thing is mental. This is kind of a big part of the game, right? What could you do for the next 30 days, mental-wise, in terms of who do you want to copy? Who do you want to model? What do you not want to do? How do you not want to react to, chunking the easiest volley of all time? Or the fourth thing is physical, right? Is fitness. Maybe you need to shed some pounds. Maybe it could be you need to work on some quickness or some endurance. But out of those 4 categories, you've now got, let's say 2, 3, maybe 4 different things in each one of those categories. Pick out one from each category. So now you're left with only 4, right? One from each category, and then choose one of those 4 and just decide, man, I'm going to go get this, because if I work on this one thing for the next month, for the month of February 2021, by March 1st, you're going to be a different player. So if you want some help with that, just let me know. You can go ahead and direct message me over at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. All right, let's get into today's topic. And kind of what I want you thinking about is, in doubles, first of all, we can never, as a team, cover 100% of the court. It's just not possible. right? I mean, even if you think you've got your opponents into, a really lousy shot choice situation, there's always a shot that's available to them for the other 20% that, number one, they can make it and keep the point neutral at worst, or they can, possibly end the point with an outright winner. So what I've discovered over the years is that the best doubles teams consistently are covering court position wise with both partners, depending on where the ball is with their opponent. They're covering 80% of the court 100% of the time, and they're forcing their opponents to have to go for something into that little remaining 20%. And if they don't, again, at worst, it's kind of keeps the point at neutral. But what I've seen a lot of the times is that players start to panic, especially as the point develops. They start to panic and they start to go for the 20%. And more often than not, either they just outright miss into the net, goes deep, goes wide, does something, or they end up playing a ball that really gives you guys an opportunity to end the point right there. So I've got a point up here today that I know you guys have seen before, but I want you to kind of look at this point in terms of court coverage of 80% of the court. When you look at the serving team, right? I mean, we've got one partner up at net, right? That is really forcing the returner into a small window, into 20% of the remaining court to be able to hit into, right? The server is going to come in and start to really take away part of that remaining 20%. And now what happens is, for a moment here, the serving team has got really the advantage in terms of court position, right? So pretty nice transitional shot there by Paul. And I'm looking at this, my 20% has really gone down to about 5%. And that 5% for me right now is all about just a defensive lob, trying to create some more opening, try to create some more, getting closer to that 20%, right? And the exact same situation. And now all of a sudden, we've gone from about 10% available percentage to all of a sudden we're turning that now into our advantage with Keith's shot right here. Now, look, I've got a shot choice here, right? And I'm thinking, do I have 80% of the court available to me? I don't, right? And not that I'm thinking winner. All I'm thinking about is what 20% is going to be available to me, so that we don't, so that number one, there's, I'm not making an unforced error on this ball that's sitting up, right? That's number one. But that number two, if they get to my shot, that my partner Keith and I will now have the 80% of our court covered for this. And lo and behold, what happens here is it does get through, right? So I hope that makes sense, right? Oh, I really want you to be thinking about court coverage as a strategy, right? And that you maximize that 80%, you and your partner. And I'm putting together a course that is going to work on this with you in those specific situations, such as when you guys are pulled out wide, or one of you is pulled out wide. What's the right shot to hit into that 20% so that you can quickly get back and start to maintain closer to 80%? What's the right shot on several different situations? And I'm going to use these points as examples to show you so that you can start to figure out, like, especially when both players are up at net, lots of times, and I think that you've seen this in some of these episodes, lots of times when both players are up at net, they break that 80% coverage rule, right? And both of them are either too close or one of them is too close. And I want to show you these points in a new course that I'm going to build. I'm hoping this week that will help you better understand the 80%, 20%, and the 100% of the time. Cover 80%, 100% of the time, and you guys will do well. All right, guys, look, that's it for me today. Any questions, any comments, any remarks down below in the comments area would be great. If you want to keep it private, you can just direct message me over at Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And don't forget, in the description area is that link that will take you to my complimentary topspin second serve course, which is basically how to get some natural swing speed, how to get some natural power that's got the kind of spin you want to control that power and creates that bounce that you want out of that service box over there, without worrying about double faulting because you're getting too much power, or about not having enough racket speed. So the ball just goes over there, the serve goes over there and just sits up for that opponent in singles or doubles. Down below in the description area, click that link and just drop in the first name and email address, and you'll be all set. Guys, with that said, make sure you start building out your goal list for February, and just pick one thing. Let's not do the whole laundry list. Let's pick one thing and just get to it and start tomorrow. Guys, get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day, and I'll see you again tomorrow.